Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of Big Trucking Tuesday. The Bonfire Race League brings it live to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Season 12 of Big Trucking Tuesday. It's race number 11 of our 13-race regular season, and it's heating up as the boys are getting ready to do battle here at the Brickyard. We're three wide up in the booth. Mean Gene Money, I've got Zach Panzarella, I've got Smokin' Joe, and we're getting ready to see a battle of 25 drivers. Zach, how we feel today?
Excited to be here. We're at one of the most iconic racetracks in the world, Indianapolis, and I know it's called the Everybody Love Everybody for 150, but I don't know if everybody is going to love everybody by the time this day is over, because it's so hard to pass here in a stock car. So it's going to, I think there'll be some hurt feelings here today, me and Gene, and we've heard so much about dirty air all week since these new iRacing updates, and tonight I think is where we're going to really see that play a big role. So we have a sold out crowd here, over 300,000 fans here to see the BRL do their thing. I'm excited. How you feeling today, Smokin' Joe?
I'm feeling really good. We got a good blimp view here of all these great people in the crowd here for tonight's race. I think they're really excited to see the Truck Series come to Indianapolis for the first time ever for the big track here in Big Truckin' Tuesday.
Right, they've run the oval many times here, Big Trucking Tuesday, but finally, Big Trucking Tuesday has come to Indianapolis. First time ever. We've seen the boys run Pocono. We've seen them run Talladega. We've seen them run Daytona. We've seen them run the iRacing Super Speedway, but finally now the rectangular oval, 2.5 miles, asphalt in a little brick strip that you can kiss at the end if you're the lucky guy. But this will be fascinating to see exactly how it is going to play out when they bring these trucks here to race. Last week, of course, the boys were at Darlington, and we saw George Jewell take his first win of the year. George, of course, he raced in previous seasons. Now his work schedule has allowed him to return. But Zach, he's just part-time. Last week was his sixth start. You need 10 to qualify for the playoffs. So George is going to come up one short in his quest. Even so, he's still back in 20th. Remember, this is not a win-and-you're-in situation. There is a playoff. Top 12 drivers are going to make it, but you gotta earn it on points. Speaking of earning it on points, Zach, why is there little green square boxes next to Owens and Vulpes up there?
Exactly. So we're talking about earning on points and know when you're in. And that's also why I really love this system here. Me and Gene, Owens and Vulpes, as long as they complete one lap here today, I think is all it's going to take. They will be racing in the playoffs here. So with just the virtue of showing up, being consistent, not even necessarily being dominant or winning a ton of races, those two are going to be in the playoffs. And I think honestly being a good point situation going in as well. Someone like Benesh, who we've seen already visit victory lane multiple times, not locked into the playoffs quite yet.
No, AJ still working on getting up there, but I think he's on a good path to make his way up there. Top 12 are going to make it, and you can see that gap finally starting to grow. Kyle Lynott currently in that 12th spot, and he's got a little 12-point advantage over 13th place. But this thing's not over. I think you could look all the way down to 19th position. That's where Jax Duvall, the Florida man, finds himself. And remember, Duvall only has the 7 starts. So all the way back to 19th, actually, and that's Troy Sand, has an opportunity to get into this thing. Duvall's just a guy I highlighted because of the minimal amount of starts that he has that still allow him to qualify. So hopefully we're going to see all these boys out here making a start, trying to get her done. Another guy I want to keep an eye on is rookie Eric Gambrell. That fella continuing to post top top 5s, top 10s. He just got his iRacing setup, big console racer. Now he's finally made his way onto the PC. Yeah, I admit it. He's a friend of mine, full transparency. But still, great finishes. We're going to see if he can continue to knock that out. And another guy that's here tonight, always fast at 55, at Jared Kelly.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are sticking out to me when I'm looking at those points right there. So when we, if you want to pull up those points real quick again, Smoke and Joe, I'm sorry, I apologize for that. But I believe that tan around those names indicates that they cannot meet the eligibility to be in the playoffs. And if they still have the white around their names, they can. So what sticks out to me more than anything is Kyle Lynott, who won when the first race in my absence. He is just barely above that cut line, just plus 12 with that no win you're in. And then you look below that, and it is so unbelievably tight. I look down to Graham McGivern over in 18th, the last car on the left side there, and that's only 10 points behind the first car of Jake Johnson outside of the playoffs. So it is all to play for here, all the way down to Peltz, actually, who is tied with Sand, Mean Gene. And then you still have guys like Chris Smith, Ferdiani, and Craven Darby, who are still eligible to make these playoffs. So this race, so big for these guys here.
Yeah, and you got to appreciate the effort that these guys have put in all year long, race after race. And that's what makes it so exciting for the viewers at home, as well as us three wide up here in the booth, is seeing these guys do battle week after week. And it's also fascinating to see who's fast on a speedway, who's fast on the intermediate, and who can make their way around a road course. Now, speaking of a guy that can do everything, there's Kyle Lynott. We talked about him, that 988 driver out of Estes Park, Colorado. He did win just a couple of weeks ago, pushed himself up into the 12th position. So he is the last guy above the cut line. Has to feel good about where he is, but a couple of things he's got to do. He's got to make every race the rest of the season to hit magic number 10, and he also has to hold off the charge of drivers like Jake Johnson, Sam Milliken, Alex McWhorter, all those guys knocking on the door. Graham McGivern dropped down last week, missed the start. He's here today, so Graham going to put his name back into the ring and fight his way straight up to get her done. Now, here's a guy hunting a trophy, old showboat, Jared Kelly. Not enough races to qualify for playoff contention, but anytime you see that double nickel out there on the track, you got to respect the speed of that feller.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not mean to gloss over him because we were talking about him before I brought the attention to the playoff situation there. But Jared Kelly, I mean, this guy is so talented. It's a huge shame that he's not going to meet that eligibility requirement. But every time we see Jared Kelly, he's always doing one thing, Mean Gene, or two things, it feels like. Number one, it's starting up front. And number two, having some bad luck that he doesn't have much to do with that's costing him the finishes that he deserves. But now that, honestly, he's met that, or he knows he's not going to meet that eligibility requirement, that's a more dangerous Jared Kelly. A trophy hunting showboat is far more dangerous than a point hunting showboat, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not worried about it. He's got nothing to lose. He can do a risky strategy if he wants. Worst case scenario, checkers or wreckers situation. And we've seen that attitude out of the 55 most of this season. Here's Sam Milliken. This is a guy right in the middle of the playoff hunt, the number 17 Chevrolet, the Houstonian, still in the middle of that battle, looking for a good finish here today. Didn't run very fast in qualify or in practice. Did the 17 of Milliken. He was around 14th fastest in practice, so he's going to need to make his way up perhaps during the race. But, it's like the Toyota guys always say, we got a race car made for drafting and passing, not running solo laps. Fastest guy in practice, the 47 is Zach Engel. Jared Kelly, Alex McWhorter showing great speed. And this is final. Here it is, qualifying. Ooh, look up top. That's going to be that number 13 Ford of Joe Vulpes. Going to have his teammate Alex McWhorter on the front row next to him. Second row, AJ Benish got that number 5 up there. Zach Engel, fastest in practice, 4th fastest in qualifying. Paul Ferdiani going to be starting in 5th. That's that number 44 plus EV Racing motor there. Remember, you need your car painted. Look at Paul Ferdiani and plus EV Racing. Jax Duvall, Florida man, going to bring it in 6th. David Buell, he's going to be starting in the 7th position in that number 52 Marlboro Menthol truck. Graham McGivern going to start up in 8th. That's your first DDI driver. 9th place, Jared Kelly got the double nickel up there in 9th. And David Owens going to start in 10th. That is your current series points leader. 20-point lead over Joe Volpus going into this race.
Moving through the rest of our field, Mr. Consistency, Stephen Neal will be over in 11th place. Outside of him will be Eric Gambrill. Keep your eye on that that truck today. Justin White will be in 13th. Sam Milliken, we were watching him qualify. He'll be starting in 14th, around where he practiced, just like we talked about 2 weeks ago's winner, Kyle Lynott. First car above the cut line. He'll be starting in 15th. He's going to need to move through the field to stay above that cut line here today. Matthew Smith will be starting 16th. 17th will be David Brenner. 18th will be Jake Johnson. Moving through the rest of the field, we got 19th, Adam Mailhot. 20th, Matt Schofield. 21st, Edward Peltz. He is one of those drivers who looks to be in line to meet the eligibility, so keep your eye on that 7 truck. 22nd will be Zach Williams. 23rd, Tommy Fox. 24th, Wayne Newman, and rounding out a 25 truck field here at Indy will be Tim Darby. Excited for this one, me and Gene. We are at one of the, like I said, the most iconic tracks. It is debatable how stock cars do here, but that is more of a thing that I think is frustrating for the drivers and fun for us to watch here in the booth.
I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with the aero package on the truck versus the aero package with the Cup cars. And there it is. It's official. LeagueNewsWeekly.com poll award winner today. Going to be the number 13 of Joe Volpus. He's second in points, but right now, first on the poll. Joe Volpus, the winner of today's LeagueNewsWeekly.com poll award, as he will be on the front row on the inside here at the Brickyard. Trucks are on the move here today. Now you can see McWhorter there on the outside, teammates in the front row, and then it gets wild behind them. Benish needing a good run. Angle, Ferdiani, Jax Duvall on the outside looking in. So I would not be surprised to see the aggression of the Florida man. There's David Buell. That guy was from the front to the back all last week, looking for a more consistent effort here today. Jared Kelly, Graham McGivern, all the top 10, Stephen Neal, all these fellas still battling for playoffs or trophy hunting, going to make them all the more aggressive here today.
Yeah, this is a really good sized field for a truck like this. The draft is going to be such a big factor here with these massive straightaways in the front and back. Total equal size there, but how 4 and 2 feel are so different. So this track will be interesting to watch. Tires will be fun. Excited to get this thing started. 62 laps around the Brickyard here today.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen with all that momentum, bringing them in to turns 1 and turns 3. You see so many different strategies about where those braking points are, and this isn't the Cup car. You're not quite as concerned about the thing spinning around on you, but you still got to be aware of those braking points. Here we go. Pace car is out of the way. Joe Volpus rolling him up to the flag, about to take us green. And here we go, away we go. It's Joe Volpus gonna lead him across that start-finish line. Quickly, Benesh is gonna fall in behind him. McWhorter on the outside, still taking a look. Behind them, you can see 47 of Zach Angle takes a little hiccup, and that's going to put Duvall and Ferdiani side by side. Front 4, single file, and then 2 wide going back. Joe Volpus coming out of turn 2, now taking him down that backstretch.
Volpus leading this thing so far, and keep your eye on that relative on the top left. I think you're going to see that get very large for these drivers who are able to get single file, because, man, racing here is so much slower than it is using that draft, working together. But you're seeing cars like Jared Kelly in the 55 working through the field already, as Volpus is going to lead us to lap 1 here at the Brickyard.
Joe Volpis, go ahead and get that point. Gonna be celebrating early as he takes it, but he's still got another 61 before he can do any donuts. Alex McWhorter behind him. Good run for the Gulf Coast Racing driver. Benish, Zach Engel, and then a slight gap you can see back to Paul Ferdy-Annie. Behind them, Duval in the mix. David Buell, and then you can see Kelly. Little bit of side-by-side. Look at Lynott taking a peek below the Wood Brothers truck of Graham McGivern.
Lynott loves these fast and flat tracks. You see him really, really quick at places like Auto Club, Pocono, so not surprised to see Lynott wanting to get through the field quick here. He wants to pick up those spots like we talked about earlier. First car above the cut line is Kyle Lynott right now.
Good action down below as well. You can see David Buell making a little battle with Jared Kelly. Kelly now going to get by him pretty easily. You could see Buell give up that position, and now here comes David Owens. Owens had some pretty hard contact with Graham McGivern at the beginning of the race. I don't see any damage on the front of Owens, but I think that just shows you the aggression level. David Owens, he might be first in points. Oh, and that does not look good. Somebody rubbing the wall.
Oh, looks like, is that Tim Darby? Trying to figure out who that is. Oh, Sam Milliken, actually. Matthew Smith. So Smith and Milliken looks like they were involved in that one, and we'll try to get a look at that. Oh, no.
Both of them choosing to tow. You can see just how quickly they made their way into the pits. That is going to bring out a caution here on lap number 3. Boys will slowly draw back in. You know, you got to feel bad for Milliken and the 96 of Smith, but you got to feel excited for the other drivers. That thing started so quick, and you just saw that lead group start to pull away. Other guys not having a chance. Now, this restart, I think it just ups the ante now. It makes the stakes all that much higher because you're way more aware now, Zach. If you don't get a good start, if you don't go for a pass on the restart, you could easily find yourself on the tail end of the slow pack and just watch that gap grow and watch your chances go bye-bye.
And what that also creates is impatience, and it creates, I think, mistakes like we're going to see right here. We'll take a look at how this caution happened. Just some aggressive driving here between two drivers who I think would like to be further up the field. Feel like they should be, and oh man,
what the world?
Hits for both guys, yeah.
Wow. I mean, do that replay again. That made no sense to me. Was that just net code, or were they just connected?
Something was disconnected. Here we go. We'll take one more look at this. And just a violent hit for both drivers. So it looks like Milliken gets a little bit loose, and they just come together. And that is going to be the end of the day for both drivers involved, and somehow everyone avoids that.
Wow, come together right now over me. That was serious business. Speaking of come together, who do you think did a better version of that, Aerosmith or the Beatles?
I'd have to go with the Beatles.
Oh, Zach's mic just broke. Can't hear what he's saying. We're gonna have to
controversial opinion, I know.
Gonna have to get that fixed. Yeah. You're gonna have to listen to a different Beatles song, I think. Anyway, a couple of people looking down toward the pit. Leaders staying out, but looks like Edward Piltz, Adam Malhot, both taking this opportunity to come it down. Looks like Justin White, he's come down to give his opinion to his crew chief about some setups that they did on the car as well. Top 20 staying out on the track. Milliken and Matthew Smith, early victims as their two Chevrolets. Crew chiefs just walking around scratching their heads after that hard contact. Unfortunate, but that really is what happens here at Indy. You know, if somebody gets loose, you're going 180 plus miles an hour. Even it coming out of 3, you're still looking at 150, 160. That's an easy way to end your day.
Yeah, and this really kind of is a single lane racetrack. Even when it is 5 laps deep into a run, it kind of does become that. So I think that open lane just really closed quicker than Milliken may have anticipated, than Darby may have anticipated. or Matthew Smith, and it just really does happen that fast here. I don't think that'll be the last time we see an incident like that occur here today at Indy. This track really is a brutal one. I mean, it wasn't designed for stock cars. It was designed for open wheel cars for the most part. So these, it takes a special type of talent to be quick around here. And also the big wrecks like that, those day-ending wrecks really can happen in an instant, just like that. So far, though, looking great for McWhorter and Vulpes. Really good restart for McWhorter to hold on to that second place and hold off Benesh, who I was expecting to really be a threat early on there.
I think we're going to see a little bit more aggressive of a restart from some of these front row guys. Looks like the lights are still on the pace car, so we're going to be wrapping it around for a minute. I want to take a look a little bit back further in the field. Let's check out the 15th position. That's going to be the number 32 of Jake Johnson. Jake is the first truck on the outside. He's behind Kyle Lynott right now. That's that number 32 Ford of Jake Johnson. Behind him, Matt Schofield. So this is where the battle is going to heat up. These are the guys that need to get really good finishes if they want to stay in contention for this playoff chase. Now, around them, look at the cars, the trucks around them. Right ahead's Eric Gambrell. Gambrell's that hot rookie who's still trying to prove himself and show where he belongs. Anytime a rookie comes in, a couple of things happen. You wonder, where do they fit in? Because it's going to take a few races before you accept the fact that they should be in front of you. You always think they're going to be behind you. At least that's my philosophy. I know you're a second faster a lap in practice, but you know what? You're still going to be behind me because I've been racing longer. Behind them, other guys, Tommy Fox, if you go back to 20th, you're going to see Tommy back there. He chose to not qualify. Last week, Tommy got caught up with old Chrome Dome, taken out of the race. Not what Tommy needed when he's trying to make his progression up. Part-time driver takes him out of the race, and now he's got to make his way back up. Choosing to start in the back. On a track like this, where track position is so vital, that might come back and bite him in the behind. Or it could be genius.
I think he'll find out quickly because these restarts, I don't think people want to be side by side for longer than they have to. So I think if it's going to get ugly, you're going to know quickly. It's going to be Vulpes as a control truck as we go green here. But yeah, guys like Tommy Fox, able to be lights out fast in practice and in that single lap speed. Interesting to see him as far down the speed. But I mean, like you said, selectively. So we'll have to see how that works out for him here.
Yep. Okay, so inside lane, having a little fun, spreading out. Ferdiani hit the brakes. Look at him cycle all the way back. Joe Vulpes is going to be the control truck. That's that number 13 Ford. McWhorter on the outside. Away we go. Good jump right there. Outside lane doesn't go. McWhorter did shoot, but Zach Engel, slow start, kind of holds up the Florida man. Single file for the top four. 5th and 6th, you could see Duval and Ferdiani side by side. Behind them now falling into single file. Jared Kelly behind them. David Buell. David Owens looking under David Buell. So a little bit of side by side. We'll see how quickly these drivers are going to get into the single file to not risk falling behind. You know how quick it can happen here. Up front, Joe Vulpes got to be happy. He's got that clean air in front of him, got a teammate behind him. I mean, this is just the land of unbridled optimism right here at this point.
Yeah, it really is, especially early in this race. You want to keep control if you're Joe Vulpes. You want to use that air. And it looks like the 45 of Neil has gone around, and that's going to bring out our second caution of the race. Neil with some significant damage. Take a look at that one.
You know, Stephen Neal, this guy, he's a top 5, top 6 guy on a road course. Every time Stephen Neal, gotten better on the intermediates. These super speedway kind of draft tracks, though, everybody's susceptible to the mistakes of others. So Stephen, we're going to take a look and see what happened, but suddenly found himself down on that entrance exit row and trying to get her rolling. I don't see any damage on that car. I think
there's a lot of damage on it. There's a lot of damage on it.
Well, let's see. Is it on the other? Oh, that's the side I wasn't looking at. Okay.
It's front to back and side to side.
Looks good on my angle.
Like the Yin Yang twins. All right. Bring up that replay screen, Smoking Joe. Let's take a look at what happened to poor Stephen Neal. Here we go.
What happened?
So here he is in the 45. Shout out Kyle Petty.
right? Got Kyle Lynott behind him. Kyle Lynott looking low.
He doesn't care about Kyle Petty. Kyle Lynott has places to be, things to see, and he does not care about Stephen Neal.
Well, you know what? Stephen Neal running that 45 today. Kyle Lynott must have thought it was the 51, and he just ended his day.
No.
No, more damage.
Oh, is that
who's
Newman?
that?
I think that's Wayne Newman right there. It is. That's Wayne Newman collecting extra damage there. That's why Stephen Neal's front end's so bad.
Look at Tommy taking it in the grass there. Good avoidance. Looks like Adam Mailhot behind him as well.
I don't think that was netcode there from Lynott. But Lynott, that was the theme I was saying. It was Lynott and Jared Kelly have places to be. And it's reflective in where they're running the field. Kelly up 3 positions up to 6th place, and Lynott up 2. I think it would have been more if he didn't have to avoid that wreck, up to 13th.
Well, Lynott, speaking of places to be, he's got to be in the pit. He's coming in, going to get that.
That could be why my data says that.
He's going to get that front end looked at. See if there's any damage on that 988. You can see David Buell also bringing it in. Here we are on just lap number 9.
His front end is not as bad as Stephen Neal's, so
quick.
I'll let him in on that piece of information.
Yeah, that was quick. He just came in 6.38 seconds pit stop. You know, just taking a little peek, making sure it's okay. Pit time 42.72 as he drives through. Guys, significance though. Back on lap number 4. We saw Mailhot come in. We saw Peltz come in. Peltz actually had a 14.5 second pit stop. And I don't think he'd be taking tires, though, back on lap number 4. A little early for that, Ed.
I would agree with you. I'd assume it was some residual damage, but
I've forgotten to click before, you know.
How many? Haven't we all? How many sets of tires are available to these boys today? Do we know that? So 3 additional sets.
All right. Well, I think this will be a great opportunity to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. What do you think, Zach?
I agree with you. Let's take a look at that.
What's this? Trophies. Look at these trophies. Oh, yeah. Oh, a surfboard. Yeah. Oh, check out that Daytona 24. Yeah. Oh, wine bottle. Big time. Cup of wine in the big time. Yeah.
You know, I got that trophy for my first top 21st finish.
Very coveted trophy.
And then I was the fastest Ford with 2 digits on a Tuesday night.
Wearing socks.
Wearing socks.
Not just, that shoe driver was faster than you that day.
You know, so I got some accolades. I got some bald driver, fastest bald driver over the age of 50. You know, Louis was a little upset. I think he thought he had a shot, but he snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
And I mean, you're on borrowed time with a few other guys in this league with that bald one. So I mean, enjoy that while you can.
I got to. They're going to catch up. I got an appointment with Joey Logano's barber though, so we're gonna be just
it was
fine.
definitely a barber who implanted hair in him. It was definitely
I gotta wait for some guy named Chase Briscoe though to go first. So
I think you need some Cup Series championship money to do that.
I had to start my own series, a series of 1.
But so you're right.
Lights are off the pace car, I believe. So Joe Volpe is still in the front. Top 12 guys still have not pitted. Looks like Justin White, he's in 13th. He did pit on lap number 4, 8-second pit stop. So that's either 2 tires or none. We'll have to wait and see. Guys that pitted on lap 8, David Buell, Kyle Lynott, Matt Schofield, and Tim Darby, Wayne Newman. 21 cars on the lead lap. Jake Johnson being shown as the first car lap down. So, he would be your lucky dog candidate. And in a track this long, you really got to feel good about being a lucky dog candidate. Here we go. Joe Volpis, he's going to drive him into that restart zone. Going to creep it, and away we go. What a great start. Top 4 trucks leave behind the rest of the pack. Joe Volpis off to a 2-truck length start. McWhorter on the outside, but he's got A.J. Benish right there next to him with a little bit of side draft, and you can see Zach Engel still in the picture, but it's Joe Volpis off to a quick 6-truck lead. Side by side behind him, little single file with Zach Engel and the 55 of Kelly. Kelly gets loose, starts to look to the inside, and then behind them, side by side, David Owens, Ferdiani. But it's going to be Volpis with a nice 0.6 of a second lead into turn number 3.
Man, I'll tell you what, Mean Gene, Volpis has been brilliant on these restarts. These things are hard than they look. We saw that all day yesterday at Dover with the Cup cars, so Volpis has just been so good for her to make her way here to lap 12, and you know what that means.
That's right. We are going to go silent here for lap number 12 in remembrance of Bonfire Race League founder Dennis Puckett. Of course, we lost Dennis earlier this year to tragedy. Thoughts go out to his family as they make their way through this. You are missed, my friend. Meanwhile, it is still Joe Volpis growing that lead, 1.7 seconds, just showing that advantage that you have. Or also that entire lap, it seemed like Benish and McWhorter were doing side-by-side battle, and that really allowed Volpis to pull away. Single file now, you can see all the way back, kind of equally spread back to Owens before there's a gap. So 2nd through 6th, all kind of bunched together. Little bit of a gap to Ferdiani, and then you can see all the single file fun action fading all the way back to Wayne Newman, 21st position. So this got to make Joe feel good. He's not having any draft help. I think that group is eventually going to reach him. But as you said, once that dirty air comes into effect, as long as Joe can hit his marks, this is kind of a single file for one preferred line track.
Yeah, so what Volpis is in right now is kind of a double-edged sword situation, because obviously who doesn't want to dominate a race like this? Nearly a 2-second lead, doesn't need the draft. Clearly the fastest truck on the track is Joe Volpis. However, he's not learning anything right now, Mean Gene. He's not learning how this thing feels in dirty air, and when he inevitably, whether it be through pit strategy or through a mistimed caution, has to deal with dirty air and has to get his way through this field, he may be behind the 8 ball a little bit compared to someone like McWhorter and Benesh, who are dealing with each other and have been all race. And I will tell you, someone who is not keeping a single file, he is right now, but has not been any chance he gets, and that's once again the double nickel, and that's Jared Kelly. The trophy hunter, like we said, the trophy hunter showboat is way more dangerous. This guy is already up to 4th place. Whenever that window opens up a tiny bit, he is using those runs to make moves on the inside. He's just using those late sends, kind of IndyCar style. And I think that's what it's going to take here at Indianapolis, at a track like this that is just so stylized differently. And behind there, take a look at Ferdiani and Jack Stovall putting on a show. Those two have been going at it for a couple laps now. And there's Ferdiani getting used up a little by Duvall, and that opens up the door for Brenner. And Brenner is our hardest charger so far, besides Zach Williams over there in 12th.
Brenner up 9th positions into the 8th spot. He's in that 22 Ford that we just saw looking low under Ferdiani. So here we go. Multiple lines being run down that long front straight. We'll see exactly how they line up as they go in. Ferdiani forced to use that outside lane, gets a little bit loose on these older tires, maintains his speed. There's where the fun part is. Let's go ahead and take it through that second turn. Gonna maintain it. Pass is finally made. Brenner slides it up the track just a little bit, and now it's Justin White looking down to try to get in. But look at the 44 of Ferdiani continuing to do battle. He's not ready to mail this thing in yet. He's not going to fold that hand.
Ferdiani Ferdiani trying to close the door right there on Justin White. White, like we said, making his way through this field, and White also did bring it down in the pits, so he may have the freshest tires. And if that is the case, man, Mean Gene, it does not take very much to make a significant difference. So that might tempt a few of these drivers to try to be on the shorter end of this pit cycle if we are to stay green. One thing to keep in mind here at Indy as well is I think you may be able to get a green flag pit stop done for tires without going a lap down if you're in the top 5.
Yeah, last lap there, 54.26 second. Seemed like rotations going through the pits were right around 37 or so they should stay on it, but you're going to have to be afraid of them catching you. Maybe the tires are going to let you run a little bit faster, but still going to be taking a chance if you do choose to do that. Meanwhile, you can see that battle still second, third, fourth, all the way back to the 6th truck of David Owens. I'll tell you what, Alex McWhorter, the guy in second place, I've been in Discord with this guy during races, and he seems to have 2 modes, Zach. Number 1 is, I love this track, and he's moving forward and racing hard, and I freaking hate this track. And he's in the back, and we're waiting to see who he's going to wreck. I would think this is the former as far as those 2 modes of Alex McWhorter, and that's going to make him an awful tough pass here today. That's even if Binish can get up with him. Binish, on the other hand, though, we saw him win back-to-back races this season. He did miss a couple of races, but he's still up there in that top 5 on points. So this is a guy who can produce constantly and consistently. We're seeing again here today. So the question is, can he get by the streaky McWhorter, or is the confidence of McWhorter high enough? Behind them, Jared Kelly, and now look at Zach Engel using that draft to close the distance, but it's Kelly making the deep entry, costing himself exit speed. This ought to be fun to see the 47 going into that next turn.
We talk so much about Zach Engel and his qualifying speed, his practice speed, and how he is almost always starting off front in these races, but we oftentimes see him start to drift throughout the field, and we've just been waiting for that long run speed to come for that 47 truck, and I think we're starting to see it. I think we've been seeing it all season in both the MRL and the BRL, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And here he is. We saw Jared Kelly making aggressive moves, working his way through the field. He did not qualify as well as Engel did, and Engel he's been patient, he's been taking care of his stuff, and now he's getting the fruits of his labor, looking to the inside. So he's going to need that drafting help. David Owens right now choosing to help Jared Kelly, and that's going to be very beneficial for that 55. But look at how good the exit speed was for the 47. He's still going to have a chance on the inside here. He has the preferential lane. We'll see if he can complete the pass through 2 here. Jared Kelly ultra loose on the exit of 1. Here we go through 2, Mean Gene, side by side. Engel's going to try to make this. We're going to try to clear an exit. I think he can. He shuts the door. Great job by Zach Engel, and he has clearly taken care of his stuff. 4th place for the 47.
That number 8 of David Owens had a front row seat to see that driving display right there as the 47 clears Jared Kelly, moves back into 4th place. Jared Kelly now has David Owens looking underneath him as well. Owens is forced to back off before the 2 trucks made contact. That was terrifying. Up front, though, look at that camera work. Looks like Vulpes is fading a little bit. McWhorter and Binish now closing the gap. Top 3 trucks, you could throw a blanket over them.
Yeah, Vulpes is fading a lot of it. That was a full 2-second lead Vulpes had that has completely evaporated. I saw it kind of dwindling a little bit, but I'm wondering if there was a small mistake by the 13 truck that completely made that lead disappear. But here goes McCorder, going to look to the inside here. Not going to make it happen here. Going to use that drops a little bit. Not going to peek to the inside again. But Nash going to be a spectator for this. Going to try to decide what lane he wants to follow. I'm assuming he's going to dive low with McCorder. Yes, he is. McCorder going to look for the lead here, and I think we're going to see Vulpes be on the early side of this pit cycle if we stay green here. I think Vulpes has used his stuff up a little bit, and like I said, Mean Gene, he didn't learn enough, and now he's gonna learn today, as Kevin Hart would say back in the day.
Well, I'll tell you what, being in third place, that's still a lesson I'd love to learn. Vulpes, lots of laps remaining here. We're only on lap number 22 of our 62 lap race. So it is McCorder now taking over. AJ Benish second. Vulpes behind him. Angle, who just made the pass on Jared Kelly. And then David Owens. Oh, Owens getting wild with it. He wants to make that pass.
Look at Owens and Showboat. You know that Jared Kelly loves to put in a show, and he's tripping in. And look at that contact down the backstretch. These two are trying to negotiate space, and they are far from an agreement. Here we go through 3. It looks like Owens might be able to complete the pass. Here he is. Good move by Owens, and Kelly does not want to give up here yet.
No, it looks like Kelly's having the same issue that Joe Vulpes is.
Kelly going to pit here. He's going to pit.
Wow, what a great move there by Kelly. Losing the position. Why not bring it in right now? Short pit the field. Cut the damage off now. Play triage. Going to get fresh tires on there, I would imagine, and get right back up to speed while we're on this green flag run. That's going to turn over the 5th position to David Owens easily. Behind them, it looks like Duval did get by David Brenner. So Florida man taking over that 6th position. Behind him, David Brenner. Brenner led the most laps last week. Unfortunately for him, didn't turn out his way. Late race shenanigans, cautions, and pit strategy did cost Brenner that opportunity to be up in the podium. Here today, though, at the Everybody Love Everybody 150, David Brenner having a good run, currently finds the number 22 in 7th place.
Here comes Duval down into the pits here. So Duval going to bring it down into Duval. He was just dealing with so much. He definitely, I think, could have been the entire broadcast right there. Me and Gene, he was in a battle just about every time I looked at that truck. But Duval, not surprised that he wants to put 4 fresh ones on it. Up front, you still have McCorder, Benesh, and Vulpes. And I think what you also saw a little bit from, I believe it was Jared Kelly when he was battling with Owens was, you didn't actually pass me. I was going to pit anyway. So
exactly.
You know, play rock, paper, scissors in your laser. And look at Zach Angle to the inside of Vulpes.
Speaking of you weren't going to pass me, I let you pass. Vulpes giving up the position to the 47 of Angle. So Angle continuing to move forward. Let's go revisit that conversation we had about how long it takes to take 4 tires. 53 seconds was how long it took Jared Kelly. That was his pit lane time. These guys are turning 55-second laps. So Kelly comes back out, got about a 2-second lead over the leader, but now with those faster tires, I'm assuming that he will be able to start turning faster laps and pull away. We'll find out next time once he gets a legit lap on those 4 freshies.
And what we also speculated about, you got to be in the top 5, me and Gene, if you want to be on the lead lap when you come out. But I think the tire differential big enough to where you don't have to worry about too much. If you're in the top 10, you should get that lap back within a lap or 2, as long as you're not super unlucky. And one thing that I forgot to mention about why those are so long, that extra 20 seconds that we were, that kind of came out of nowhere, it's because it's a very, very slow pit speed limit here, I should say. I think it's down to 35 miles per hour, which is very slow relative to the track. And again, it's because this is the narrowest pit road these guys are going to visit. Whoop. Only 35 feet is this pit road. You see it right there. It's hard to get onto. There's McGivern on the top of your screen right there. He's going to be entering pit road. So this is a slow pit road. It's a narrow pit road, me and Gene. So that is why it is so much longer than you'd expect. It's such a fast track.
It's also slick. I saw Vulpes there lock it up. That rear end tried to come around. He was pretty lucky that he wasn't in a cup car, or else he would have come around. Officials are looking at his speed coming in, too. We'll have to keep an eye and see how that develops.
I see someone writing a ticket.
Yeah, BRL officials taking an eye at the entrance speed of the 13 of Joe Vulpes.
And that would be just about the worst time in this race, the speed. Green flag, pit stops, and like we said, if he did speed, that penalty will likely be a drive-through, and that's going to be 35 miles per hour all the way down that ultra long. And plus a 40-second hold all the way down that ultra long, and there's the hold.
They're holding him. That's no good.
There'll be no drive-through, but there will be a 40-second hold. Honestly, I think that's just about the same penalty, probably an estimation of what a drive-through would be. But that is brutal for a pole sitter right there, Mean Gene. That's nearly a lap. He's going to need a caution.
Yeah, not happy with that as he watches himself go down a lap to multiple cars. Jared Kelly has not yet come by him yet. Up front, look at McQuarter.
Look at this.
Now he's dealing with everybody. Look at that. That's Gambrill. That's Ferdiani. That's AJ Benish right there. Keep in mind, some of those trucks are a lap down. Gambrill is a lap down. Ferdiani also a lap down. So they're just going to get their stuff back the old-fashioned way. There we go. McQuarter going to bring it in. Don't pull a Vulpes, buddy.
Oh, man. It's same with Owens.
Look at Owens.
Barely get it slowed down. These guys are flirting with disaster. But if you can pull it off, that's going to make all the difference in the world. You know guys like Owens love to get those super, super deep entries. So good job if he did not speed. We'll see if the speeding police write the same ticket they wrote for Vulpes. But so far, this is going perfect for Benesh and McQuarter. I think Benesh is going to cycle to the lead as here he goes on the outside right there in a battle with that's the McGivern right there, so I believe that's going to be for the lead lap, as Zach Engel currently being scored in second place.
Yeah, McGivern in 18th right now, just trying to get his lap back, but he did take 4 tires, so he should be faster as he makes his way around the current leader of AJ Benish. Behind Benish, you can see Zach Engel still into the picture. Just a little bit of a gap between the two.
Here
both of them now going to bring it into the pits here. Oh, look at that closing speed.
Wow, Zach Engel. Oh, again, if he pulled that off, that was brilliant. So that should complete the cycle for the most part. Justin White, who we thought put on tires, he's going to cycle, I think, a little bit longer. I think maybe a lap or 2 longer. So he's going to get those laps led. David Buell right behind him. And then Lynott, who we've seen up and down this field today, he's now up at the 3rd place. So we're going to have to see how this thing cycles through. A lot of interesting entries there in the pits. One thing that should be noted is McQuarter and Owens did not speed. They were not held. So great entry for both of those drivers there. We'll see with Engel and Benesh as they both get ready to leave.
Up front, you can see it has rotated around to Justin White. Justin White now being shown as your lead truck. David Buell, Kyle Lynott, all 3 of these guys need to bring it into the pit. Look at the speed of Buell. Little tap there by White. Buell's going to touch him as he fell off of speed, and now those 2 guys lost just a little bit of time with that contact there. Kyle Lynott behind them. First truck, though, that has already made a pit during this cycle. That's going to be the double nickel of Jared Kelly in 6th, 29 seconds back of the leaders. If you're those leaders, you got to start thinking about bringing it in before you lose too much time to trucks with those 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Justin White, who we know may have accidentally not unchecked some boxes, so he may have some tires, has to run these extra. And then you see Buell in that Jose Medina tribute scheme behind White. They're trying to work together through these stretches here, but you can see they had a hard time negotiating it. Last front stretch, I don't think they'll run this too much longer. It looks like they're both going to keep it out here. Behind them, that is the 57 of Fox, I believe. So, and you're about to see how different these tires are. That is the 57 of Fox. He's the last car a lap down, so he's going to want to get around these guys quickly. But these 2 are going at it here, Mean Gene.
Poor Tommy Fox, he sees a 52 in front of him. He's having PTSD of a 51 in front of him last week. Doesn't want to get too close to these guys, but he's got to make his way around.
Here he goes.
Buell often will let a guy go around, but in this situation, Buell's fighting for the lead. You know he'd love to get past him and maybe lead one lap just to get those bonus points. You know, David Buell battling for a top 5 regular season finishing position, so he can't. He's not really in a position to give any breaks to anybody, even a driver as popular as Tommy Fox. There we go. That is going to be White into the pit. That's going to let Buell finally lead a lap, and I think at this point Buell will be able to let Tommy Fox go by since he's in control there. But that did slow Fox down just a little bit as he was trying to get by the 2 slower trucks battling for the lead.
That definitely slowed down Fox, but I think he's mostly concerned with having that lap back just in case a caution was to come out right now. That's going to keep this race in his control. I'm now watching someone like Kyle Lynott, and he is just rolling around this place, and I mean that in the slowest way possible. So these guys really trying to stretch these tires in this field as far as it can go. We're just now crossing the halfway point of this race, so I think these guys starting to count backwards. Mean Gene, think about maybe I want this next stop to be my last stop, while these other guys are going to have to pit again, and trying to eliminate a pit stop essentially are guys like Lynott, Buell, and Schofield right now. But I wonder how much further you can stretch it. Looks like Lynott's going to continue to try to stay out here, but man, these laps are so much slower than guys that have already pit. I'm talking 3 seconds slower.
56 seconds compared to some guys putting up those 53-second laps. So losing 3 seconds not going to be good. If a caution comes out, it erases all the mistakes. But without that caution, you can just see this thing fall back farther and farther. And that's not even taking in consideration the amount of effort that it takes to get by somebody with dirty air out there. David Buell getting him some laps up in the front. You can now see a lap truck trying to make their way back around David Buell. I believe that was Edward Peltz in that number 7 making that quick move.
Correct. That was, and then let's also shout out some drivers like Graham McGivern, currently running in 12th place. He's doing a great job, and what I'm also keeping my eye on is just when these guys pit and how they're cycling through. So also we can take a look at 9th place of AJ Benesh. He is now behind David Owens. We saw Benesh kind of stretch that as we see Lynott bringing down pit road finally. So Lynott first to bite. Buell and Schofield can continue to try to leave it out here, but Benesh did try to stretch it the longest of those fast cars. I'm sorry, trucks in that initial strategy. I mean, that's a totally alternative strategy that guys like Lynott are on at this point. So now I'm really curious to see how quickly Benesh can get around these guys and what they're going to learn here. So far, what I'm seeing, Mean Gene, is that the undercut is the way to go.
Yeah, it seems to be that way so far, especially considering how much longer it takes to get around the track. It's a huge track. You don't have to worry about getting lapped, like you said, up in that top 10. David Buell now bringing her down. So he's going to put what we just said to the test, doing the later pit stop. We'll have to see where he comes out in that cycle. We'll have fresher tires, but it's going to take a few laps for that to come into effect. Yep, there is the second place car. That's 61. Matt Schofield bringing it in, and that will eventually turn the lead over to Jared Kelly. Kelly coming quickly here on the front stretch, and there he goes. Jared Kelly now going to assume the lead. Kelly last pitted on lap number 22, so 13 laps already on those tires compared to somebody like Buell and Schofield just now taking tires. So we'll see how quick that drop will be, but Kelly still ran a 55 that last lap, so maybe 2 seconds faster a lap will come around and help Buell and Schofield as they come off pit road to get back into this race.
The two drivers that pay the most attention to that are going to tell us the biggest lessons right now are McWhorter and Kelly. Kelly pit on lap 22, and that was the earliest of our lead lap this strategy cars. The nearest to him would be lap 23 of Jacques Duvall, so that is now 3rd place. And what makes McWhorter so interesting is that he is towards the tail end of that same strategy. The latest lap was who we were talking about earlier, which is Benesh, and that's lap 28. But McWhorter, so good compared to the rest of the guys in that strategy. He was just a lap earlier on 27, so he's already up to 2nd place. So that's what we're got to pay attention to. How quickly can McWhorter close this gap and not when, or not if, but when does he pass Jared Kelly? I think Kelly is going to wait until McWhorter gets right to him, and that's when he's going to duck it down. I think these guys are in the window now, Gene, but I think they're trying to learn those lessons, see how much tire they have left at this point in the run. But McWhorter is the one guy really throwing the wrench in the system because he is breaking up everything that makes sense when you look at our data.
Yeah, remember, McWhorter also took that lead from Vulpes, so he was your leader briefly before the pit cycle came around, and then Jared Kelly short pitting 5 laps over McWhorter gave him that opportunity to take that lead, but it doesn't look like it's going to take McWhorter 5 laps to catch back up. He was 9/10 of a second faster than Kelly that last lap, and looks like he's closed that gap even more. Now only 7/10 of a second separating the 15 Chevrolet from the double nickel of Jared Kelly. Behind them, Florida Man continuing to make a great run. Remember, Duval on the outside looking in the playoff points, 3 less starts than everybody else, so he needs a big day, and so far he's getting it done. David Owens doing a great job protecting that lead. You can see, Duval, broadcaster jinx, my bad, Florida Man.
Look
Duval up into the wall, and that's going to cost him 2 spots right there. That's only 2 points. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, tell that to him later when he gets out of that truck. But Jack Staval, I think those tires catching up to him. Jared Kelly is doing a great job. But look at that, like we just speculated about. It's not 5 laps, that's 1 lap.
Whoa.
Loose off the corner is McWhorter, but he still has enough speed to get to the inside of Jared Kelly. I think this should be all she wrote as they enter 3. They'll go side by side. Maybe a little bit of side drafting may occur here. But you already saw Jared Kelly trying to break up that draft down the backstretch the last lap. He was already feeling the pressure, McWhorter. This is a matter of seconds now, and yep, Jared Kelly not going to fight it. I think Kelly's going to pit soon, me and Gene. Keep your eye on that 55. He's going to not want to do the same thing McWhorter is, because what's the point? That is the car to be, that is the truck to be right there. It's that 15. That is who is the, I believe, the fastest truck on the track, and really has to figure it out right now. David Owens, I think, is kind of the baseline. He has now worked his way into 3rd place. He is doing exactly what this strategy should be, and he is exactly where he should be. Benesh should have something for Owens, but you know how difficult that 8 truck can be to pass.
Got David Owens.
Loose goes Owens.
Except when
Nice
he goes
save.
wild like that. Keeps it straight. Yeah, watching them come all the way up on that, you got to wonder. There he is again. You can see a little bit of drifting by the number 8. That's not really the line you want to run. My experience has been here, put that left front down on that apron, almost under it. That white line, and that seems to be where the little extra traction is. You can see there, Benish almost touching it. That's going to let him get around. But even being close to it is not the ticket. I have heard right there, look at Owens. He's actually got that left front under that white line. Oh my. And look behind them, some more of it too. Tires starting to get loose. These boys last pitted around 25, 26, 27. And now with 23 laps to go, this is getting really exciting.
Spicy stuff here between Owens and Benesh. This is good, and like you said, that is the ideal line. You want to get it below that yellow, or below that white line if you can, but this far in the run, that is so far easier said than done. Owens doing such a good job putting the squeeze on Benesh right now, not letting him exit the corners with any sort of momentum. They're going to enter 3 side by side. They're going to have to figure this out some way, somehow. I think you're going to see a lot of the same with Owens trying to control the outside lane. Yes, he is. Good job from Owens so far, but Benesh going to try to close it. Yes, he's able to.
Yeah, you saw how good he did it that time. AJ got right up under that white line. That leg gave him that entry, and that the tires were able to hold on. Owens trying to use the outside lane speed, and that just allows the truck to get just a little bit loose. And now Benesh securely in that 3rd position. You can see behind them, Angle Brenner trying to catch up on that pack of 2, and then Duval faded just a little bit with his misadventure. And more trucks getting loose, really starting to, and that's that same spot right there, coming into 1 and 3. Coming into 1 and 3, and then when they're coming out, that excessive speed is just making that tail end come around. If this was a cup race, I think we'd already see a few people on that infield.
And one thing we're not talking about either, about enough, is dirty air. I think that's what got Owens so loose on the exit of 4 there. I mean, I think he didn't mind the way that him and Benesh raced each other at all, but one thing he didn't appreciate was Benesh coming across that nose of Owens and bringing that wake of air and just getting him so loose, as Jax Duvall is going to bring it down in the pits right now. So Duvall, our first to bite. Duvall was on the earlier side, so he did pit on lap 23 like we talked about. Again, I'm surprised Jared Kelly's still out here. He's now under fire from Benesh.
Yep.
If I'm a betting man, I'd say this is the last lap Jared Kelly is going to spend on these tires. I can't see why he tried to go longer. Here goes Benesh to his inside, and AJ, now I'm kind of taking back what I said earlier. Now it seems like the run this long was the move, right? McWhorter's in first, and the guy who ran the longest is now going to take over second place. If this thing stays green, that might be the move, but this would be a shorter run. Oh, man, this will be interesting. You got to pit now for Jared Kelly.
Yeah, I think so. AJ, he's done a great job of staying close. He's going to have that extra set of tires if there's a late caution.
Jared?
He can bring it in, and then perhaps he'll have something for McWhorter. But this is the Alex McWhorter we talked about on the good day. On the good day, when the car is lined up, when his teammates have shared the right data with him, the pitting cycles have seemed to work, everything fallen into place. You know, confidence, a huge part of what happens in a driver's psyche. And right now, nobody's driving with as much confidence as that number 15 Chevrolet. AJ Benesh has got some answers, but the question that he's really facing now is, what do I do with this number 15? He's trying to close that gap on him, but still 3 seconds. That's a big thing to get over. Behind him, Kelly also trying to push it out. I think the boys right here are just trying to push out this run as far as they can, so they'll all be on equal footing with tires. Here comes Kelly now, finally making that decision. He's going to have a good set of tires for this final run. That being said, though, he's still coming in earlier than the top 5 drivers.
To me, that is plenty early. I mean, there's 19 to go. Let's get these four tires on it, and let's use them. Smoke them if you got them. I don't know. If I'm Jared Kelly, I think he's thinking mission accomplished. I didn't bleed too much track position. Now I get to take advantage of these fresh tires. He better hope that Alex McWhorter and Benesh run long like they did in that first run. But if I'm those two, I'm more inclined to pit earlier now and not give Kelly that advantage. I don't see why you would. And like you talked about, I don't know if there's anyone that has more confidence than McWhorter. I have 2 guys that may have as much, and that's Zach Engel and Graham McGivern. Engel currently running in 4th place, McGivern in 6th. These guys have just been so smooth and so good in this race here today. I hope this race is able to work out for both of them, and they're able to get the finishes they deserve. It's been a joy to watch them, especially deeper in these runs. These guys have just become such polished drivers, and that's why you put down these reps like we talk so much about, me and Gene.
Well, a few drivers have come in for pits here for the final cycle as well. You could see Justin White. He's just ahead of David Owens there, trying to catch up on Benesh. Oh, no.
And look at Duvall. Yeah, I did hear that. And look at Duvall and Kelly right now, absolutely going at it. Justin White did have a speeding penalty, so unfortunate for White. He actually was the first one to bring it down. So White really was on an interesting strategy there, but not going to be able to get the fruits of his labor with that speeding penalty. But these two are going at it, me and Gene. And Jared Kelly, he needs to get by Duvall. He has fresher tires. He cannot waste time.
Oh, yeah, these 2 guys on rival teams back last year in the Bonfire Premier Cup Sunday season. Look at both of those guys doing a great job hugging that apron. Duvall must have that damage fixed. Meanwhile, as you said, business picking up over on pit road. You can see Benesh, Engel, Brenner, McGivern, all of the boys coming down. That's that 4th through 6th positions. Up front, there it is. Now you can see again, great battle between those 2 drivers. Both of these guys have wins to their resume, but today this is just about pride. Look, here he goes on the inside.
Oh boy.
Jared Kelly gonna make a run at him.
Jared Kelly going to look to the inside of Jax Duvall. You know these two just massive fans of one another.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see if it goes in the no-no spot. Oh, and Duvall going to very classily give up the spot. So that'll be interesting. And look at that, he's going to go around Benesh, who is now still has to go use that exit lane there on pit road. And now here comes McWhorter. Like I speculated as well, me and Gene, these guys not running as far as they did on that previous run. That's going to be interesting for someone like Jared Kelly. But right now, so far so good. What we should keep our eye on now is where does McWhorter cycle through as compared to Jared Kelly. I'm assuming Kelly will inherit the lead of this race.
Jared Kelly hoping for it, pitted on lap 43. Others now coming in here on lap number 46. David Buell taking over.
Oh, Vulpes in the wall.
Oh, Joe, say it ain't so. After that speeding penalty, Vulpes.
So not too much damage. Vulpes, one of the guys trying to stretch this one out, it looks like, and really showing just how difficult that can be. But not too much damage. Owens coming out of the pits right now, so time to see how this cycles through, me and Gene.
Yeah, Vulpes last pitted on lap number 25. I don't know how much further he's going to be able to take that thing, considering we're on 46. So we'll see what he does. Up front, David Buell still pushing his truck.
McWhorter and Benesh.
Pitted on 34. McWhorter and Benesh. All this ought to be sexy. Benesh is ahead of him. Pitted one lap earlier. This theoretically could be for the win.
Yeah, they absolutely could. And you see McWhorter dealing with those cold tires right now. They were side by side as McWhorter exited the pits. And he did a great job trying to defend that hypothetical lead as they came out. And look at this. They're going to have to negotiate through trucks trying to make these tires last. And this is just a world of pain for McWhorter right here. Benesh so good at this. And that's Vulpes in front of them now. Vulpes, one of those trucks trying to stretch this, as they're going to go to the inside of that 13 truck.
Drive right there by McWhorter, getting around those guys, able to hug that apron the way you want to. Benesh great on that exit, going to maintain that slight 0.4 of a second lead. Remember, McWhorter has one lap fresher tires. Ahead of them, trucks to be in consideration would be Jared Kelly and Jax Duvall. They are just 4 seconds ahead of those two, though, so we'll see if the 3-lap older tires of Jared Kelly can hold off the charge, because it looks like Benesh and McWhorter might have something to say about this race.
Yeah, so far Jared Kelly is making me look foolish for questioning his strategy. He has a nice lead, and all Kelly has to do right now is focus on not burning his stuff up. It's going to be a matter of when AJ Benesh and McWhorter get to him. It's definitely going to happen. He needs to make sure he has something to fight them off. Use that dirty air to his advantage as we make our way through this cycle. He needs Buell, Lynott, and Peltz to pit for this to totally work for him. But so far, so good for Kelly. And behind them, same for Jax Duvall. He is enjoying that track position. So a lot of different strategies out here. A lot still has to play out.
And look back behind him, David Owens turning the fastest lap that last time. David Owens back in 9th, but at least 3, maybe 4 of the trucks in front of him are going to need to pit before this thing is over. So Owens going to see if he can chase down his buddy Alex McWhorter, but he's about 3 seconds behind McWhorter and Benesh.
So it looks like a few of these drivers are going to try to actually stretch this all the way to the end. I guess there's only 13 to go, so we've got to assume if you're a Buell or a Peltz or even a Lynott, what's the point of pitting with 13 to go? You might as well try to stretch it. So, oh boy, this is going to get interesting.
Not running out of gas on the back stretch. That might be something to
know when you're in. They know that, right? Lynott knows that, right?
See, I'm an expert on stretching out a fuel run, but I have things that go for me that these boys don't experience. Number one, I'm already slow, and that allows me to save tires and fuel. And then I'm usually 2, 3, 4 laps down at this stage as well. So that
less
also
reps.
helps. Yeah,
That's
less
smart.
reps helps my fuel. So, I'm a little bit more of a pro at stretching it out than these guys. So we're going to see exactly what answers they have, especially running on the lead lap trying it. Oh, that's when the stakes are at their highest. All jokes aside, though, David Buell, that last lap, 56.66. That's 2.4 seconds slower than Duvall. So he's going to have to pick her up. You can see Gambrell right there getting around him, getting back on the lead lap. There's Tommy Fox in 16th, getting back onto that lead lap as well.
Kelly around Peltz as well. So, I mean, I'll say this as well, me and Gene, whether or not Buell finds a way to make it to the end, it would not be for the win. It would be for a better finish than he otherwise would have, because there's no way I think he can hold off Kelly, even with that 17 seconds. I don't think it's going to be enough. 11 laps. I mean, it's multiple seconds a lap right now. He has to save so much. Kelly is putting down some really, really fast laps. He just passed Peltz like he was standing still. So Buell, I think he could be fighting for a podium here. And look at this on screen. You got Benesh and Duvall fighting super, super hard. Oh my gosh. And then on top of that, you have McWhorter. McWhorter so badly wants to get around this group. He has the freshest tires of those three. You know McWhorter is feeling a wind slip through his fingers right now. Man, there's so many things. And then he probably doesn't even know about what David Buell's up to.
No, not at this stage of the game. Watching these three guys race, so this is terrifying and exciting. Finally, Benish and McWhorter are going to get around Duvall, and now they line up. Looks like Edward Peltz. He's on that stretch it. Going to just kind of move out of the way. Oh, no, McWhorter. Oh. He's going to shoot the gap.
He backed that corner up brilliantly. He had a plan. Alex McWhorter with a gorgeous move right there. That was so much fun to watch right there, Mean Gene. You saw him really hit the brakes on entry of 4. He saw that Peltz was there, kind of, again, I've said this a billion times, an IndyCar type move. That kind of reminded me of a kart type move using the draft there. He had a plan and it worked perfectly. That is what McWhorter needed to win this race. Now he just needs to set his sights on Jared Kelly. Don't think too much about Buell. If his spotter knows anything, he hasn't even told him about David Buell.
54.3 last lap for Jared Kelly. 54.74 last lap for Benish. Benish on 2-lap fresher tires, but Benish was following Duvall around. Now it's McWhorter, 54.48. Almost 0.2 of a second slower than Kelly, but now McWhorter has clean air in front of him. Nothing between him and Kelly. So this will give him a shot to make it down. Yeah, I see that 7 of Peltz finally going to bring it down, make sure he doesn't run out of fuel. David Buell still trying to push his fuel. We'll see how much longer he can hold off. He's got that 11-second gap over Jared Kelly, but he's losing almost 2 seconds a lap.
I mean, if David Buell can make it, I mean, especially based on what we just saw with Peltz, then he has whatever Joe Logano is using in his pits, which I think you know all about, me and Gene, so you can educate us on what the hell goes in that fuel tank, because that would be such an accomplishment on its own. Because Buell right now, he's not giving up as much time as you'd think. These lap times are, like you said, they are far slower than something like Jared Kelly's are, but they're not as slow as we saw when we saw something like Lynott saving earlier in this race. So this is fascinating right here with Buell. If he can make it, again, look at that gas tank. There's something in there, some secret stuff.
2.1 seconds slower that last lap was Buell than Jared Kelly. So that gap really shutting down. 8 laps to go, 2 seconds a lap. That's 16. He's going to finish 8 seconds behind Jared Kelly at the rate that this is going. We'll see where he can hold on to. He might finish somewhere around Duval Brenner if he can make it to the end. We'll
what if he had a caution?
Oh boy, don't say that. That's a bad word.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt. All right, you can see there's the 32 of Jake Johnson bringing it around. Jake, a couple of laps down right now, not where the 32 wanted to be. 20th position right now for the Ford of Jake Johnson. Other lapped cars coming into the picture. Look at the speed. Joe Vulpes. I think that's Vulpes trying to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. He'd love to see a caution pop up right about now. Get him a restart. Maybe get some new fresh tires on that number 13 Ford. But got to be pleased to see himself back up into 15th after his little speeding penalty.
Look at how desperate Buell is to save fuel right now, which is a fun
into the
sentence.
Wall, the 42.
Oh,
that was
42.
Bad.
And he was helping out Buell, was the 42. That draft is really helping Buell, but the 42 going to get in the wall and in the wall again. Is he going to try to pit here? Oh, right in front of Jared Kelly. Kelly barely avoids him. Oh, man, that 42 Darby needs to get to the bottom of the track. he was helping out Buell, and it looks like we are going to get that sorted out. But okay, let's go back to Buell real quick and look at how. Oh, Buell into the wall. Buell into the wall now. That's going to help out Jared Kelly. Is he running on a field? He was, I think what it is, me and Gene, he's using the clutch so much more than he's familiar with, and it is so difficult to drive these trucks with the clutch when you're not familiar with it, especially at a track like this where it's so flat. But here's what I'm talking about. Buell is just hugging the bottom. He is so desperate, and the caution is out. And is it out for the 42?
No.
Don't love that.
No, looks like Darby in the pit. I think he towed it in there. So 42 might have had something going on right there. Darby was 3 laps down at that point. This changes everything. All of a sudden, Buell gets the fuel. Buell gets the tires, but he's going to be stuck in the back behind everybody who stays out on the track. This is an interesting set of circumstances for somebody like a Jared Kelly. Kelly will most likely stay out, but guys behind him have fresher tires. So not what Jared Kelly wanted to see.
If Kelly has tires, I don't know if he's going to stay out, me and Gene. If Kelly has a set of tires, he is not staying out. You can't. You will be a sitting duck if you stay out and you know your opponents have a set of tires. I mean, this is just an absolute gift for Buell. I mean, there's no other way to put it. But Jared Kelly,
is he running out of gas back there?
He may be, and I have that wreck if you want to take a look at it. Not the prettiest one. We'll take a look at this. Keep our eye on the 42 here.
Buell looks like he ran out of gas.
And Buell is out of fuel. Oh no. Oh, he's waiting for the face card. This new incredible update from iRacing. Thank you, iRacing, for that great update. Here we are on the right side of Darby. Has damage on the track still. This is through 4. Clearly that 42 refusing to turn for him. I think he's going to try to pit here. I think so. This is where he has the close call with Kelly. And I'm really not seeing why we went under caution here. So now here goes Darby again. He should have hit there. I mean, that's one thing I don't fully understand. And here we go into 1. The truck's still not wanting to turn. And I'm assuming he's going to park it. And that's why,
Here's the strategy. Meanwhile, Buell comes in. Kelly comes in. McWhorter, all the leaders bringing her down.
And look at that gap that Buell has. So really what this will be about is who has the guts to take 2. I don't know if that'd be the move. I don't think we've seen anyone take 2 and make any forward progression. But if everyone does what they should, which is take 4, David Buell will come out of here with the lead. So that was a perfect situation for that 52.
Yep, going to keep him in. I'm keeping an eye right now on the 52. Getting a little bit of fuel. Looks like people are taking tires. Clock's still running. He's at 12.6. Left side,
Owens,
right side.
David Owens looks like he made it something cute. He did. Owens takes 2.
Nice. You got to appreciate the chutzpah of the 8 of David Owens. Going to put himself in the lead. David Buell second. Jared Kelly. Alex McWhorter coming out in 4th. Look at Zach Engel now. Got to be happy. AJ Benish all the way back to 6th. Looks like 10-second pit stop. Maybe Zach Engel also took 2.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out with Engel as well. But, man, if you didn't expect that with Owens, that's on you. Owens definitely someone that you have to anticipate to take a chance like that. He wants to win races. He is not here to come in second place. He's not here for a top 5. So Owens going to take the risk here with those 2 tires. Normally what you do see with Owens when he does make decisions like that is he has teammates around him to help him out. There will be no such thing that I can see. He likes to work well with Duvall and Engel, but I'm not seeing.
Well, he's got McWhorter back there, but I think Alex is in I'm going to win mode and not I'm going to push you to a win mode.
I was going to say that McWhorter is not thinking about David Owens right now. He's thinking about how he's going to get around those 2 tires of Owens.
And that's kind of how it went last Thursday, right?
Right, exactly. So
last Thursday, Owens was like, "Hey, teammate, let me get that dub," and that teammate said, "I'm sorry, can't hear you. I'm in victory lane.
Hard to hear over
the cheering.
fireworks. Yep.
That's right.
All the beer. It's loud in there.
He said, I'm sorry, Mrs. Owens. I just beat your favorite driver.
Oh, man. For the 5th time this season. I bet you like him too, don't you? I bet you like him too.
Oh, you know what I like about Mr. Denny Hamlin is I like that his most famous quote ever was actually an impersonation of Joey Logano. No one knows that. When he said that's short track racing.
I thought you meant that I beat your favorite driver, but
no, that was one of the greatest lines ever in NASCAR. That was I hate Denny Hamlin, but boy, that was just choice.
And that was about Kyle Larson, and I'm a Larson fan, and I still was like, that goes hard. I
took it personally that he just meant everybody. It was a good one.
It was a really good one. I mean, you got to listen closely to the new songs we're playing on DDIRL tomorrow. I wrote a song about that, and I actually used both quotes you just said.
I love it. All right, meanwhile, things are tight out here now. 3 laps to go. Lights are off on that pace car. So we are in a green-white checker situation. David Owens with control on the inside. David Buell on the outside.
2 tires Owens.
2 tires Owens. McWhorter going to line up behind his 2-tire teammate. McWhorter's done a great job of getting down on that apron. If Owens plows just a little bit, don't be surprised to see McWhorter do something with it. Zach Engel going to start on the outside of row number 2. AJ Benish, that's another guy. He's in the 5 Summer Shanty Chevrolet. That's another guy that has worked so well down on that apron. Jax Duvall, Brenner, Matt Schofield up there now. Let's go, boys. Pace car out of the way. David Owens rolling it down into the restart zone. He's going to wait. He goes at the 3/4 mark, gets a little bump from McWhorter, gets off to a good lead. Duvall pushing it into the back of Zach Engel for 5th place. AJ Benish now going to go by on the inside. Owens with a 1-truck lead. Look at McWhorter hugging the apron like we talked about. Gonna take over second. It's David Owens, McWhorter, Buell off the throttle just a little bit. Benish, Engel, Duvall, Brenner. This thing's wide open right now. 2-tire David Owens gonna bring it into 3 in the lead.
Owens trying to break the draft down the backstretch. I have my eye on McWhorter. It's McWhorter Benesher, the 2 trucks I thought had a chance at this win right here. And here we go with McWhorter. He has everything that he needs. He has 4 tires against 2 tires, but Owens has that clean air, and you know how difficult that A is to pass, and you know how well he can use air. Behind them, you have Buell holding on that track position, and he's showing that he deserves it. I think this is going to be mano-a-mano, Alex McWhorter versus David Owens, and here we go again with the 8 trying to break the draft and run across the start-finish line. This race is official. 1 to go.
Owens trying to get down on the apron. He doesn't touch it. He misses that speed point, and that's going to let McWhorter stay with him. Owens in 2. Can he touch the apron? He does. Good speed by Owens. He wiggles a little bit. Look how close McWhorter is. Taking it down that backstretch. It's between these 2 drivers. David Owens, Alex McWhorter. Owens has already secured a playoff spot. McWhorter's still fighting for it. Oh, hard contact.
It's just the inside.
Hard contact there. McWhorter hits him hard. Owens in the wall. Boy, that's going to be a fun team meeting on Monday.
That's just long track racing, says Alex McWhorter. He's just going to do a little bump and run, and he's going to take what he deserves. And Owens is loose out of 4, and it's going to be a big pile up, but I don't think McWhorter cares.
No, McWhorter's going to win it behind them. Ferdy got turned sideways. David Owens still yet
Zach Engel. Zach Engel, 2nd place. What a finish for Engel.
Look at Duvall. All I hear on the radio.
5th.
Somebody hit me. Who hit me? Somebody.
Mean Gene, look at 5th place.
And ladies and gentlemen, what a finish here today. Alex McWhorter with the win, uses his bumper on his teammate. Thursday, Owens said, let me win. He said no. This time, McWhorter said, this is how you ask, and put his bumper right into Owens. Owens spinning, going backwards, ends up in 18th position. Oh, Zach, I wish I was at that meeting on Monday morning. Oh, boy, oh, boy,
he just drank his milkshake.
Man, that's racing.
Drank it right up, didn't he?
Yeah, but straightways, not even sideways. It was straightways.
And look how Zach Engel. I'm just, oh my gosh, what an awesome finish and what an awesome, yep.
Well,
got to make sure you pass inspection. Don't worry about how fast that 15 was. We don't have to talk about it. And Vulpes comes in 4th place. So Vulpes, all he had to do is run a lap to make the playoffs, but he's with authority going to be looking at that regular season championship, which is bragging rights. Other guys who are sticking out to me, Gambrel in 5th. That guy, so many top 5s. And Greg McGivern getting the 2 guys that I said I hope they get the finish they deserve, came in 2nd and 6th. So I'm very happy right now. What a finish. And we don't have to sit in that team meeting, so we don't have to worry about the repercussions of what we just saw.
Well, and you know what the funny part is? 3 of the top 4 are going to be real happy. You know, McWhorter wins for Gulf Coast. David Brenner rolls into a 3rd place finish, 14 spots up. Joe Vulpes comes back, finishes 4th. They're all smiles at the table. And then here comes David Owens, not going to be pleased. Teammate right into the rear of him. Golly gee. I find myself at a loss for words, and that does not happen very often. Smoke and Joe, let's go ahead and pull up the final results there.
All right, I'm going to try to find the last corner chaos, and we can take a look at what happened. I mean, I think
I heard Duval talking, I heard Lynott talking, so maybe those guys would be fun to watch there.
I mean, they're never involved in late race incidents, so I can't see why we'd check anything that they did. So here we go. We can take a look at this. So we'll take a look at Owens here.
He's
First
trying
of all,
to recover.
This is look at the textbook bump and run here. Just a little boop, and that's all it took. Up goes Owens, and Owens he kept his foot in it. I mean,
yeah, and he still got his foot in it. Look at him. He's still got his foot in it.
And look at Owen just like Tokyo drifting it through the corner.
Oh, he's raging. I mean, look at it. I know that driving.
He's thinking, I can get to Alex. If I try hard enough, and I believe I can get to Alex. But that is not what you're. So look at Buell here. Does Buell escape? I think he will. He won't. And as Carl Anthony Towns would say, after all that, he's not going to. And Vulpes and Brent are going to laugh as is Engel all the way to the bank. Oh, poor Buell.
Wow,
he didn't deserve that. Oh, and there goes Bertiani. Bertiani on the inside, and Jax Duvall. That's probably what I was going to say. And here we go. Look at AJ Benesh. Benesh.
Did you see Buell smash the barriers there going into the pit?
That ended the Indy 500 for Sato a couple of years ago, so Sato getting some good memories there. Buell is still going. He's not done wrecking. Like, we can go commercial for Applebee's right now, and we come back. Oh, Buell, Tommy Fox. Oh, Fox did nothing to deserve that. Tommy Fox. And then the 89 just getting mollywopped. And here goes the 66 to the inside. A lot of Dale Earnhardt fans here. A lot of guys doing it for Dale.
How is this car still rolling?
And then
look at Jake Johnson.
David Owens.
Jake Johnson has to be mad. He didn't get a piece of it. He's like, well, I can run over this bumper. What are we doing?
Do you see the little engine that could right there on the top of your screen? The 8 of Owens. The start-finish line is right there. Flashbacks to the Truex at Sonoma a couple years ago. Here goes Owens. And then, so Duvall, I think will try to reverse as quickly as he can while Owens will drag race him. And I think...
Look at him.
Owens will win this drag race. Duvall just got to throw that thing in reverse, but he can't find it.
Look at the speed. Look at that speed.
Look at that speed. Wow. And that right there is how you win multiple championships.
Wow. And look at him. He's still there. You can't park there.
Yeah. Oh, man. And there's Zach Engel just thinking, I just came in 2nd place. I just beat your favorite driver. Brenner in 3rd, going to give a butt tap. Vulpes in 4th. Gambrel in 5th. Are we sure this guy's a rookie? And then Greg McGivern. Greg McGivern just leisurely driving through it. Look how beautiful that 33 is. Spotless.
Yeah.
For once, I don't have a massive...
Wood Brothers Ford right there. That looks good.
Have you ever seen me lose so little money? Ever?
Oh, it ain't over. Let's see what happens in the pits.
Oh, I literally thought I was going to wreck it.
Yeah, good.
So Jared Kelly ends up 8th as well. Mean Gene, a lot of interesting stuff.
Lynott 9th. Tommy Fox still finishes 10th. That's good. So the playoff hunt continues. Yeah, go ahead and bring it up for us. The everybody love everybody. There's a lot of love in that last 2 turns.
And I told you they would, right?
There's your results here. Big Trucking Tuesday live on the Vortex Racing Network. Final results. Alex McWhorter is going to take home the win. He is the winner. Zach Engel going to finish in 2nd. David Brenner 3rd. Joe Vulpes in 4th. Eric Gambrell going to finish 5th. Graham McGivern, good run there by the DDI driver. 6th, Matt Schofield recovers, gets back up into the race, going to finish in 7th. Double nickel Jared Kelly, going to bring it home in 8th. Kyle Lynott, he might have used his bumper at the beginning, but he used his head at the end for a top 10. And Tommy Fox finishes in 10th. Good finish there by Tommy, but they're really going to need to turn up that pressure. Remember, everybody's chasing Kyle Lynott for that 12th spot.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how much that mixed it up. Over in 11th place, we got Adam Melhot. We didn't talk enough about him today, but he was always up there, and he got the finish to show for it. Pinesh, definitely one of those guys who got the worst of that finish there. Hard to believe that after all that 5 truck did today, he's going to end up in 12th place. Same goes for Justin White. We saw him on kind of alternative strategies today. He's going to end up in 13th. Jay Johnson's going to be in 14th place. He's going to stay eligible for the playoffs. So that is a good finish for Johnson, as it is for Peltz over in 15th place. 16th will belong to Ferdiani, and I think he did it upside down, so that's good for Ferdiani. David Owens, we've talked a lot about Owens. That 2-tire strategy looked like it was going to pay in dividends for Owens, and it was just one set of corners away, and that is going to end up in a 17th place. But in good news for him, he did win the drag race against his teammate of Jack Staball in 18th place. 19th will belong to Zach Williams. 20th, David Buell. Everything looked like it was going perfectly for him. He definitely had a shot at that win there. Strategy done to absolute perfection, and he's just going to there's going to end up the wrong side of it with that last wreck. Even worse than Owens. 20th place for Buell. 21st for Milliken, another driver who needed a good run today. He's going to end up on the latter end of this field. 22nd for Darby, Newman in 23rd, Stephen Neal in 24th, and rounding out our field will be Matthew Smith in 25th, 59 laps down.
Matthew Smith caught in that early sadness, costing him his chance to have a good race here today. And here is your updated playoff positions. After that race, look at the gap between Owens and Vulpes. 2 races remaining for the championship, only separated now by just a slim margin, just 5 points now between the 2 teammates. AJ gonna hold on to his same 3rd position. David Buell 4, Justin White, no movement there. Zach Engel gonna move up actually into the 6th. Look at Brenner with a nice jump to get him up into 7th. Zach Williams holds his spot. Nick Mills not making the race today, gonna drop down. But Nick had a lot of points on the season, 4 top 10s, 3 top 5s. So Nick gonna stay in 9th. Matt Schofield jumps up a spot with his top 10 today. Stephen Neal, rough day, gonna drop 2. And here's where it gets fun. Kyle Lynott still in 12th, but look at McWhorter close that gap as suddenly he's just 9 points back.
And yeah, it's really, at risk of making myself look dumb, between Owens and Vulpes, it's fun, but that's all bragging rights. That does not come with extra points, to my knowledge, to get that regular season championship.
But it feels good. Maybe it's a trophy. Good. Maybe it's a KK Woodscape trophy.
It feels really good when you also win the championship, and the other side of that, I'll tell you that much. It doesn't mean anything when you don't. But what I'm looking at right there is that cut line, and just like you said, it got that much tighter today. With Nick Mills not making the race today, I mean, anytime Nick Mills shows up, you know he's going to be a guy that you can expect to run top 5, as his stats indicate. But man, you just can't play with fire in this league because it is so tight there. Guys like Graham McGivern +3 today with that exceptional run. He's going to wind up 6th place today. So that brings him up quite a few spaces and so close in points now. On the outside looking in by just under, looks like 20 points there. And yeah, that differential between Lynott and McWhorter, one guy who's already won a race and another who has just shown won another one just right now. So what an incredible league this has been, and it just goes to show just how difficult it is to make the playoffs. The playoffs, once we get to them, are going to be unreal in terms of the competition and how little the margin for error is going to be. But up until then, that cut line is going to be everything, Mangy. It's going to be fun to watch. And I mean, you really can't count anyone right now. I think all the way down to about Milliken. You really got to be looking at these guys with the ability to point their way in.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Milliken. That's actually a guy that I'm really sympathetic for. He needed a good run, got caught up in other people's stuff, ends up dropping down 5 spots. The battling is so close up there. Behind him, Troy Sand didn't make the race today. That's going to kind of push Troy, I think, to the side now as he finds himself 35 points out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, right.
30, trying to overcome 35 points, right. Trying to catch a Lynott or a McWhorter or a Stephen Neal. Going to be tough. Jake's still in it. Jake Johnson, the 32, he's still in this thing, just needs to really get a run. Graham, if he can continue to do what he did, Tommy Fox, right on the edge of that. Duval, today's effort did not help him. 137, that is going to put him 28 points behind Kyle Lynott with just 2 races to go. And remember, though, you can tie. Right. Kyle. You don't got to beat him. You just got to tie him, and then you could make your way into the playoffs. So this thing's still wide open. And I know you say it's not for anything more than bragging rights, but hey, there's probably a KK Woodscape trophy on the line for that regular season. Season 12, special season. This is the Dennis Puckett Memorial season. So that'll be a little something extra, I think. A little extra respect on the name of Dennis Puckett if, you could get that one as well as winning that regular season. Great race here. First time the boys came to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and hopefully not the last. I liked what we saw. There were a few incidents, but most of these guys did finish on the lead lap. Not too many cautions, but the ones that we did see, lots of damage. Could you imagine if that wouldn't have been the checkered flag?
Oh my goodness, that would have
tried to have a restart there.
So upside down. That would have been hilarious if that was the checker flag. But I think for these guys' sake, glad it was. One last thing before we move on, looking at these standings right here, me and Jane, David Brenner. I think he is definitely one guy. I think he's sneaky. Least amount of races ran besides Lynott qualify for the playoffs. But you look at Brenner, 8 races completed, and 5 of those he's finished in the top 5. So just incredibly impressive from Brenner. He was so lights out in ARCA this year as well. So have an eye on him. So many guys that I think can really come out of nowhere here on these Tuesday nights. But like you said, I hope this isn't the last time we come to this track, because like we speculated before the race started, hard to pass. Air matters a lot, but it's fun for us up in the booth. So no complaints here.
Oh, really, really a good time to see what the boys could do here today. Again, this is the 11th race in a 13-race regular season, and then the playoffs so tight because there's only 2 races each elimination round. Next week, the boys will be at Iowa for 130 laps of insanity. We'll be broadcasting that at the same time right here on the Vortex Racing Network. Plenty of racing action coming up, though. You can see, that was good timing right there by the producer. Plenty of action coming up, though. We got the Wednesday night DDI Truck Series. That'll be coming back after 3 weeks of exhibitions. Now the boys are back. Where are they racing, Zach?
We're going to Watkins Glen tomorrow. Super excited. Can't wait to be in the driver's seat, experience this new incredible update that iRacing gave us. Looks so good, so modern. They just really knocked it out the park, did a crackerjack job. So shout out to our producer.
Joe. I can't say it.
Shout out to our producer for rolling with the punches, because when I opened up iRacing today, I thought I was losing my mind. So great job there, making it look beautiful, and I can't wait to see what it's like in the driver's seat and just the incredible work that they do to make this platform so great and the 60 gig updates we get with that.
And don't forget, not up there yet. It will be soon, though. Sunday, we will be broadcasting from Kentucky Speedway as the Bonfire Racing League begins their Premier Cup series. I, of course, will not be there. I do apologize. I got a little deep sea fishing to do in Destin, Florida. You know, gotta see if I can catch a marlin, maybe a grouper even. I'll have pictures though to, you know, just so you can see my sunburn while I'm out there. But yeah, Sunday, of course, also will be the beginning of the Premier Cup League. That's going to wrap it up for us here today from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What a great day of racing. We see that fantastic run and victory here today. Cannot believe how it ended. Alex McWhorter with a little tappy tap on the back of David Owens, and that will give him the win. McWhorter closing in on that 12th place of Kyle Lynott. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, all the three wide up here in the booth. That's Zach Panzarella, that's Smokin' Joe, all the boys in the production truck, our sponsor, KK Woodscapes, and of course, a big thanks goes out to David Brenner for sponsoring the race. The Everybody Love Everybody 150. Like to thank the admins of this league as well. David Buell, David Medina, Matt Schofield. Help me out there, producer. Who else is AJ Benish? David Owens, the list goes on. The people that make this thing happen, Joe Vulpes, just the list goes on of admins and racers that help us do this. If you like what you've seen today, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit subscribe, like this video, tell your friends so you can continue to see exciting action here on the Vortex Racing Network. Been a pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow night from Watkins Glen. And as always, bottoms up and hammer down.